I got Turbo Jones on my left and Marshall Kearing on my right. It's a different feel this time around. Last year, when we were in this room, multiple times, you look around and it brings back memories. But that's what a one bid league is. One team's going to leave here happy. The rest are going home. We happened to not play well today and got sent home in the second round. It's hard. I hate it for our kids, but this year's been rough. We've been up and down. We fought. We came out here with 16 wins, and we had a lot of deficiencies, and we knew that. We had some injuries early, but our kids never quit. We got great kids in our program, really good human beings, and they fought and really gave everything they have, and kind of to be honest, turned we. It's disappointing when you go home after your first game down here, but they turned a year that could have been incredibly bad into a year that had some really good moments.
Not for questions. Go ahead, Craig.
Craig Stevenson, AL.com. Richie, you guys came out kind of flat. Did you sense that?
I didn't think we would. I didn't think we'd come out flat, but we did. I mean, we were flat. I didn't ever think we really had popped the whole game, to be honest with you. They helped us out some with how they were turning the ball over, and it gave us a little bit of momentum. We didn't capitalize on nearly enough of those. If we would have, I think we might have won the game. But I don't know. It's hard to explain. We've had that with this team throughout the year. There's games we came out and just been flat as can be, for no real rhyme or reason. And it's usually bit us when we've done that. We haven't won very many of the games where we've came out flat and got off to a slow start, especially when you get off to a slow start for about 13 minutes. Our energy level and our urgency was, in abysmal for 13 minutes to start the game, and it's disappointing because you're playing in a winner go home situation in the tournament. Our urgency need to be better.
Coach Paul Chestnut, Fox Sports, Pensacola Radio. Just got back in the game a bit at the end. Just talk about how your team did, from the slow start. Just minute left to go. It's still anybody's game.
Yeah, we had a chance. We had a shot there inside of a minute, a pretty good look. That could have took the lead, and we had opportunities throughout the half. Our guys bounced back and gave honest effort, and we kept fighting and stayed together, and we did have our chances down the stretch. But I'm a big believer. I tell my teams this all the time: is when you play the right way, when you give everything you have to it, the game gives back to you. And we came out the way that we came out this game in this type of moment, flat for 13 minutes. When we had opportunities late, the game didn't give back to us because we didn't give a full 40 minutes of effort and urgency and energy. And I wish I could have done a better job with these guys to get them to come out with more pop and more urgency, but we didn't.
Free throw attempt. You called the timeout. The other free throw at the line. Was that designed? Maybe to get.
Yeah, we were trying. There was 2 seconds left, so we didn't feel like if we made it and cut it to 2, barring a steal on the inbounds pass and a quick layup, we didn't feel like we could have a chance to, send it to overtime. So we wanted to miss it, and he did miss it. He just missed it short. We were hoping to miss it long, get in the air, and give Marshall or Thomas Howell a chance to tip it out to Gator or Turbo and get a 3 off. It's kind of like a Hail Mary in football. At that point, it's kind of what it was, and we didn't get it up. He didn't miss quite long enough where it would go up in the air. But those things are hard. Again, it's like a Hail Mary in football. You see one of those very rarely, but that's what we're trying to do.
Question here from Zoom for Turbo. 15 to 16 from the line today. Was that something that was in the game plan, or just something you went to when maybe shots weren't falling the way you were hoping?
Nah, it was just pretty much me trying to be aggressive and trying to make something happen for my team.
Okay. Marshall, you had one of your better games. Obviously, you would like to be able with a win, but to kind of go out with that effort, how do you feel?
I feel proud of myself for going out aggressive as I did and bring the energy that I needed to bring in this type of situation.
Coach, if you can, been here many times, fourth year here for Sunbelt in Pensacola. Just talk a little bit about it being here, seeing you year after year. For 11:30 a.m. game on Thursday, I thought, the fans could come on.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is a great venue to have a conference tournament. I think Pensacola is a great city to have it, and the Bay Center is a great arena to have it. I'm appreciative of our fans for coming down here at 11:30. We got some fans in Pensacola too that probably don't come to Mobile to watch us play very often, but they showed up today. So very appreciative of that. I wish we could have won for them. But yeah, this is a really good experience for student athletes, in my opinion. We used to have it in New Orleans. It's not a knock on New Orleans. I think it used to be in Hot Springs. It's not a knock on that either. But the location's just really good, and when you go out there, it gives our student athletes a feel of a kind of a big time deal. A conference tournament. I've coached at every level. I've been to ACC tournaments. I've been to Conference USA, to a bunch of different tournaments, and this has that feel of a conference tournament. Obviously, not the level of ACC, but for a mid-major league, I feel like we do a good job with this tournament, making the student athletes feel special.
You lose two guys up there. You lose Tom Betty, lose Gator, and anyway. Just could you talk about Judah? I guess could you just talk about focus of the offseason, what you feel like you got coming in?
Yeah, I'm appreciative of our guys. We're losing these two. They're up here beside him. He's been here the longest. They put in a lot of time here. Proud of them. Excited about their future, what that holds for them. I think they both have bright futures, and same with the other guys. We got to get going in recruiting, and this is a different time. I've said that before. This is a different time. With the NIL, it's the best thing I could say, that's not our strong suit. We don't have those resources right now. Maybe one of these days we will, but in recruiting in 2024, that I don't know if people out there understand how important that is. It's the first question asked by anybody in 2024. It used to be about style of play. It used to be about facilities. It used to be about relationships, how hard you work to recruit guys. That's not the case. Things have drastically changed since the NIL. And, when you look at, I've been here for 6 years, and it started to take place, 2 years ago, really, where it affected us. And the answer to the question is we got to really work our tail off to evaluate and find some guys, that, might not be getting it, because that's not our strong suit, and that's kind of putting it lightly, is the NIL market. And we gotta do a good job getting out there and working, and we got some time to do it. You gotta go hit that portal, and you gotta see some of these high school kids that maybe have been overlooked. You got to recruit junior college. We have to used to we used to get a lot of guys out of that portal, man. A lot of SEC starters, a lot of guys that started SEC games, average double figures at the Power 5 level. We used to battle those type of guys. Those days when you don't have anything with those three letters, it makes it a different ball game. And I think we've done a decent job of I guess finding a way. We've hit that Division II market pretty good, and we've had some good players out of that. Isaiah Moore last year, Owen White last year. This year we had Gator and Tabe, and Elijah Ormison's a D2 guy. We've done a good job, but we got to keep finding a way. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for you, our circumstances aren't going to change overnight. I mean, it is what it is. We got to go get it. We got to find a way to get really good players, and we got to find a way to coach them up and get them better. But the days for our program, some programs in our league that they're still operating kind of the same because it's, their deal's a little different than ours. But the days of, we got Turbo from Auburn. We got Charles Manning from LSU started a bunch of games. We got J.J. Chandler from Texas A&M started a bunch of games. Both those guys are almost double-figure guys. Javon Franklin was another dude from Auburn. I mean, we had a lot of guys from that power. It's a little different now, but you got to roll with the times as part of being a coach. And, whatever your situation is, you got to do your best to elevate and keep finding ways to win, and that's what we're going to do.
So, Coach, to follow up on that, so when you go on and recruit these kids, is that the first thing they come to you with?
Yeah, there's no question. Yeah, I think any coach that you bring up here, they're going to tell you the same thing, and that's across the country. I think when this thing first started, and let me preface this: I'm all for the NIL, even though it doesn't benefit me. It benefits a lot of coaches out there, but not this one. But I'm all for it because I want student athletes to get their name, image, and likeness. I mean, we spent years of college athletics, and NIL's basically it's college football and men's basketball. I mean, there's some NIL out there for some people in other sports, but it's directly affecting recruiting in those sports. It may be a couple more, maybe a little bit women's hoops, maybe baseball, something. I don't know, but those two sports are the kind of headliners when it comes to that. And I'm all for these guys getting that, but it has changed the landscape of college basketball, and that's not coming back. It's going to be that, and then some moving forward. I think there's a lot of traditionalists out there that think it's going to change. It's going to change back. They're going to regulate something that's not going to happen. And as a coach in a one-bid league, without those type of resources, I understand what it is. And trust me, I'm not here to complain about it. It is what it is. Like, it's life, You gotta grind, and you gotta find a way, and it's what life is about. But it is the first thing. And it used to be the Power Five. That was the first thing. And then at our level, you might be able to, and not anymore. Not anymore. When it comes to NIL, there's the haves and there's the have-nots, and it really changes how things used to work. When I was coming up and cutting my teeth as an assistant, it was about that building that relationship, building those connections, working to let a kid know how much you care about them. Being at the most games you could be at. It was about, the style of play. Hey, man, you can come here, you can be really special, give yourself a chance to reach your dreams and goals. Now, it's not about that. Not anywhere. It's not about that. And anybody that would tell you it is about that is wrong. It's not. I've done this a long time. I feel like at 41 years old, I'm pretty in tune with what's going on out there. And it's the game, It's the game. NIL is the game. Point blank, period. It's the game. And if you don't have it, you better bow up and work and try to find the best you can get, and then coach your tail off. And battle and battle and battle. And again, I thought our guys did that. None of our guys are here because of the NIL. Obviously, with what I'm saying, you can understand what I'm talking about. They're here because they love South Alabama. They're here because they wanted to play for our staff. And they gave everything they had to it. And I'm proud of them. And, and don't get me wrong, everybody in the country doesn't have NIL, but there's tiers to every league. There's tiers to every league. Like our whole league probably is not, but there's tiers to every league. And it makes it hard if you're one of those, And I'm sure there's tiers. Obviously, at the Power Five, there's tiers to those levels too. Those blue bloods and some of those guys, you can't convince me that they're, those guys are probably better than the bottom of their league. You know what I mean? it's life, man. So we're going to come out and we're going to go and we're going to work relentlessly to put the best team we can together. Then we're going to coach them the best we can, and hopefully by the time we get here next year, we'll be sitting here and being happy instead of being sad because we lost. So I think that's all you can do.